Lola Winters, at the age of 5, understood the world in vivid, non-negotiable color. Her world was not constrained by physics, gravity, or the limiting factor skin tones. If a cloud wanted to be chartreuse, it was chartreuse. If a dinosaur desired roller skates and a magenta tuxedo, Lola was the architect of its dreams. Her medium was a humble Crayola, specifically the 64 pack, with a built-in sharpener, which she treated as sacred tools. She did not draw. She detonated color onto paper, guided by an ecstatic, internal compass. In the spring of kindergarten, Lola produced what she considered her magnum opus, the neo-mythological fauna series. There was Barry the Blue Dragon, who only eats broccoli, the galactic sloth who invented hugs, and, most ambitious of all, the tesseract tree, a geometric marvel pulsating with iridescent purple and gold. These drawings weren't just images. They were Lola's unfiltered language. She packed them meticulously into a thin, red plastic portfolio given to her by her grandmother, declaring them ready for their debut. The debut came during a class field trip to the massive, imposing Metropolitan Museum of Art. Lola, overwhelmed by the grandeur of the marble halls and the stern faces of the Greek statues, clutched her portfolio until her knuckles went white. She wanted her dinosaurs to meet the gods. Standing in the courtyard, waiting for the bus, the 5-year-old Lola was distracted by a lost butterfly, a rare, shimmering orange monarch. She knelt down, the red portfolio slipping from her grasp and sliding beneath the polished granite bench. For 5 minutes, she communed with the butterfly. When she looked up, the school bus doors were closing. She scrambled aboard, the bright orange blur of the butterfly lingering in her vision, the red portfolio completely forgotten. 20 years later, Lola Winters was an architect, 25 years old, and clad exclusively in shades of respectable gray. She designed efficient, ergonomic, utterly joyless spaces. She was competent, professional, and successful, but somewhere between the kindergarten classroom and the corporate high-rise, the color had drained out of her world. Her internal compass now pointed only toward quarterly profits and structural integrity. She rarely thought about her childhood art, seeing it as inevitable, sentimental fluff of youth, long burned out by the rigors of adult life. Miles away from Lola's glass and steel office, nestled in the dusty archives of a prestigious Hawthorne Museum, was Our Thorne. Our was the associate curator of found and overlooked arts. He believed passionately that brilliance wasn't defined by pedigree but by intent. Our's current project was cataloging items accidentally archived during museum acquisitions, items mistakenly packed with donated furniture or left behind by interns. It was tedious work, but Our was relentless. He found the portfolio beneath a stack of turn-of-the-century exhibition programs. The red plastic was faded, but inside, the drawings remained pristine. Our didn't initially see childish doodles. He saw conviction. He saw a dynamic composition. He saw a revolutionary use of color theory, albeit one entirely self-invented. He pulled out the tesseract tree. The colors defied known rules. They were simultaneously discordant and harmonious. The lines were impulsive, yet perfectly placed. It was pure, unadulterated visual language. Our felt a visceral, profound shift. This wasn't just cute. This was essential. This is the visual mathematics of joy, Our whispered, instantly setting aside the Baroque sketches he was supposed to be reviewing. Our knew the road ahead would be treacherous. He had convinced the museum establishment, specifically Director Travis Sinclair, a man who viewed art as a serious investment, not a playful exploration. Our requested a formal meeting. Travis, a trim man whose skepticism was often mistaken for sophistication, listened patiently, his hand steepled precisely beneath his chin. Travis began, sighing dramatically, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but you've brought me 20 sheets of construction paper covered in wax pigment. Exhibit space is extremely limited. We have Titian loans arriving next quarter. Our spread out the drawings on the mahogany table. Sir, look at the confidence in the line. Look at Barry the Blue Dragon. The lack of blending isn't a failure to execute. It's a profound commitment to the singularity of each hue. The dragon isn't just blue. It's the embodiment of blue certainty. Travis leaned closer, adjusting his glasses. It's a 5-year-old's drawing, Our. The public will laugh. The critics will crucify us for sentimentalizing mediocrity. They will be forced to confront their own lost capacity for joy, Travis. We curate cynicism every day. We curate sorrow, pain, and political turmoil. When was the last time we curated ecstatic, pure, unburdened joy? Awa knew he had hit a nerve. Travis, despite his professional rigidity, had entered the art world out of passion, not finance. What is the title? Travis asked, defeated but intrigued. I propose The Calculus of Joy, the lost portfolio of Lola Winters. We won't present them in frames. We will mount them directly to the wall, surrounded by the museum's most pristine white space, an explosion of color in the silence of modern life. Travis looked at the galactic sloth who invented hugs. The sloth was neon pink and had 6 arms covered in glitter, the glitter having adhered decades ago from a crafting accident. A ghost of a smile touched Travis's lips. We will do it, Travis conceded, but only in the North Annex, and only for 6 weeks. If the press tears us apart, your office is relocated to the storage unit. The installation was meticulous. Treated the construction paper like priceless parchments. He used specialized lighting to enhance the wax sheen of the crayons. He arranged the drawings not chronologically, but thematically, following Lola's inner logic. The promotion material was stark. A single, high-resolution photograph of the Tesseract tree, captioned, "Before convention, before fear, before gravity. Rediscover the origin point of creativity." The press preview was predictably brutal. "The Hawthorne Museum has officially jumped the shark," wrote one influential critic. "This is not art. It is condescension masquerading as depth. The only message here is that the museum has run out of ideas." Another mused, "We are meant to feel inspired by the scrawls of a child? Give us complexity. Give us struggle. Give us anything but the saccharine simplicity." Travis paced his office, regretting his decision. However, was unfazed. They are looking for mastery, Travis, because mastery is safe. They are afraid of authenticity. Wait for the public. The public opening was quiet at first, then steady. The museum typically attracted serious art students, tourists, and academics. But the Lola Winters exhibit drew a different crowd. Stressed-out lawyers, weary parents, teenagers cynical about everything, and older people searching for memory. The reaction wasn't analysis. It was emotional release. People didn't critique the shading. They stood staring, laughing, or sometimes weeping quietly. The exhibit was designed as a sanctuary of color. Visitors entered the stark white hall. With the crayon colors, brilliant oranges, electric blues, and fiery reds, seemed to hum with kinetic energy. A lawyer, exhausted by a week of billable hours, stood before Barry the Blue Dragon and felt a sudden, sharp memory of drawing imaginary worlds on the back of his father's legal pads. He pulled out his phone and took the first non-work photo he had taken in years. The Blue Dragon, the museum's comment book, usually filled with dry criticisms, became a repository of confession and rediscovered joy. "I stopped drawing when I was 7 because my teacher said the sky wasn't purple. Thank you, Lola, for proving her wrong. I forgot what it was like to make something just because I wanted to. No client, no deadline, just joy." The exhibit became a phenomenon. The Hawthorne Museum, known for its solemnity, was suddenly buzzing with life. Lola Winters, the architect, sat in her minimalist office, reviewing blueprints for a new corporate campus, all sleek concrete and muted glass. The work felt heavy and meaningless. She was good at her job, but she felt like a very expensive machine running on empty fuel. Her assistant, a nervous, perpetually caffeinated young man named Sam, burst in, holding his phone. "Lola, you have to see this. It's trending. The Hawthorne Museum has an exhibit of, kindergarten art." Lola sighed. "Sam, I'm busy designing a building that won't fall down. I don't follow our trends." "No, but look at the name," Sam insisted, turning the phone screen toward her. Lola glanced down, irritated. The article headline read, "The Calculus of Joy, Museum Exhibit Reveals the Genius of Lola Winters." The name hung in the air, a bell tolling from a forgotten past. Lola Winters. It was her name, but it felt like the name of a stranger. Her eyes locked onto the accompanying photo, the tesseract tree, the iridescent purple, the impossible gold. The tremor that ran through her was immediate and absolute. It wasn't just a resemblance. It was a visual fingerprint only her 5-year-old self could leave. She remembered the orange butterfly, the frantic rush onto the bus, the hollow feeling of having forgotten something vital, a loss she had filed away under childhood triviality. Lola left the blueprints where they lay. She put on her severe gray coat and drove straight to the Hawthorne Museum. The line snaked around the block. Children dressed in brightly colored clothes mixed with suited professionals. Lola bypassed the ticket line, showing her ID to a guard, her heart hammering against her ribs. She walked to a familiar, echoing marble halls, turning into the North Annex. The noise faded instantly. The hall was silent, reverent. And then the color hit her. Her work. Her world. She saw Barry the Blue Dragon, mounted proudly, demanding attention. It wasn't silly. It was magnificent. It was perfect in its imperfection. It lacked precision, but contained all the wisdom of a soul unburdened by self-doubt. Lola stopped in front of the galactic sloth who invented hugs. She remembered every stroke, the precise moment she ran out of neon pink and had to switch to salmon, the decision to give the sloth 6 arms because 2 weren't enough for proper hugging. Tears sprang to her eyes, not of sadness, but recognition. This was who she was, beneath the layers of professionalism, spreadsheets, and beige consensus. The girl who invented cosmic rules was still inside the woman who calculated load-bearing walls. A man approached her, a gentle, earnest man with kind eyes, Thorne. He noticed her intense concentration. "It's rather stunning, isn't it?" he asked softly. The sheer courage required to use color this way. We spent 20 years trying to authenticate the artist. She must have been a revolutionary. Lola wiped a tear away. "I was 5, she whispered hoarsely. Hour paused, blinking. "Pardon?" "I am Lola Winters," she said, finally letting the forgotten name roll off her tongue. "This is my portfolio." Hour's eyes widened, a slow smile spreading across his face. "Travis, get over here." Travis Sinclair, standing near the entry, rushed over, expecting a complaint. When Hour introduced Lola, Travis was momentarily speechless. "Ms. Winters," Travis said, regaining his composure. "It is an honor. We didn't want to invade your privacy. So we didn't search for you aggressively, but we had hoped you would see it." Lola gazed around the room, taking in the spectacle, the crowds, the joy, the sudden, vibrant legitimacy of her childhood dreams. "Why?" Lola asked Hour, her voice catching. "Why do this?" "It's just crayons." Hour placed a hand gently on her shoulder. "Because, Lola, mastery is impressive, but joy is necessary. This exhibit isn't about art history. It's about human necessity. You remind us that the truly inspired line is not the perfect line, but the honest one." He gestured to the crowds, many of whom were pointing and whispering with renewed enthusiasm. "You prove that the most complex calculations in life," Hour finished, "are the ones that lead us back to simplicity." The calculus of joy ran for 4 months, shattering attendance records and forcing the Hawthorne Museum to reevaluate its mission statement. Travis Sinclair, humbled by the exhibit's impact, championed Hour Thorne's promotion and began advocating for inclusion of more outsider and intuitive artists. For Lola, the exhibit was not just a successful display. It was a profound psychic recovery. Standing daily amidst the explosive colors, she relearned her own language. She didn't quit architecture, but she transformed it. Her next major commission, a community library, was unlike anything she had ever designed. Gone were the monolithic concrete slabs. In their place, she designed a space flooded with natural light, featuring curving organic lines, walls painted impossible shades of emerald and sapphire, and reading nooks shaped like geometric trees. The initial pitch to the client baffled them. "This is highly unconventional, Ms. Winters," the board chair noted nervously. Lola simply smiled, a genuine, unburdened smile that reached her eyes. "It is," she agreed, pulling out a set of colored architectural pencils, not gray, but fiery orange and electric blue. "But this is not just structure. This is the visual mathematics of joy." and I guarantee you it will hold up. She had lost the drawings when she was obsessed with a butterfly. Now, she understood that you couldn't calculate inspiration. You could only leave space for the miraculous, chaotic colors of creation to land. She had finally reconnected with a 5-year-old genius who had taught her everything she needed to know about design. Start with joy, and everything else will follow. That will be all for today. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. Goodbye.